And welcome back to part 8. So I just realized, I think it's either 7 or 8. Hold on, I'll double check that real quick. We're on part 8 of What If Naruto had a Zanpakuto, the Ryujinn Jakka edition. Last time in the Naruto What If, we had gone through a giant chunk of Shippuden. Should also know that this will not be the last episode of this What If. We will probably be looking into going into at least one more. And then the week of What If, we'll be starting a new one. Even if we go into 2 more episodes, I'll still be starting a new one next week because next week's the What If week. Anyway, so we left off with Itachi asking for Naruto, basically contacting Naruto saying, meet me here. We need to talk. Do what you need to do. If you need to bring people, bring me in, whatever. Naruto, being Naruto and having a good eye for people a lot of the time, actually, and on behest of Ryujinn Jakka, does inform Tsunade, the Hokage, about being contacted. They also let Sasuke know that Itachi contacted Naruto. Naruto himself goes in there and just talks with Sasuke. Sasuke's probably just probably either meditating or whatever, and just, what do you want, Naruto? I want to tell you that your brother contacted me. And that obviously gets Sasuke's attention. Itachi? What would Itachi want with you? I don't know, but I'm going to meet him now. Is there anything I should say? Is you want me to give him any message? Sasuke just thinks about it. Tell him that I will be the one that kills him. No matter what. I haven't forgotten, and I will get out of here, and he will face retribution. And Naruto just looks at him. He goes, all right, I'll tell him. And Sasuke, just like that? Just like that. You want me to tell him? I'll tell him. But, I mean, have you ever thought about what you do after this? I mean, if you do get your revenge? We've been through this before, Naruto. I know, but you never gave me an answer. And Sasuke has been contemplating a little bit, but he doesn't want to talk to Naruto about it right now. So just go. If you bring him in, great. If not, whatever. But his death is mine. Of course, sure. And so Naruto goes, and he doesn't go alone, but he does say, all right, guys, wait here. I'll keep a clone ready for backup just in case, and let you guys know what's up. But I feel like I have to go and meet him. And so Naruto and him meet, and they're in a field, and they're far off. And Itachi's in the middle of the field, Naruto's there, and he's got his hand on his sword, like he's ready in case he needs to. And Itachi just greets him. It's good to see you again, Naruto. You definitely have grown strong. I'm sorry. You've definitely grown stronger. I was like, yeah, that's what training gets you. What the hell do you want, Itachi? I want what I want? No, it's not what I want, Naruto. It's what I need. It's what needs to be said and what I need to tell you. About Sasuke, about the village, and about the Uchiha massacre. And so, he relays the tale of what actually happened that night about the Uchiha massacre. Now, I've done this story point before. A lot of times, some story elements will repeat. Sometimes we'll change them up. Like to this time around, there is going to be something that changes up very drastically coming up in a second. But remember, Itachi being a double agent means he ultimately cared for his brother and the village. So I do think contacting someone, Naruto or whatever, is still something he would go out of his way to do. But regardless of that, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Regardless of that, that doesn't mean everything still goes peacefully. And so he finishes telling finishes telling Naruto everything. By the way, I get some people who say, you should write a script or anything. First, I have notes. I do have notes now. But writing a script doesn't mean anything if I lose focus on what I'm doing. Because I've done this video series without the camera, but people like the camera. I've actually had people say they want the camera there. And so you'd have me reading a script here verbatim, word for word. So just like, he's looking at whatever. Anyway, so he says all this stuff. And Naruto's asking, why are you telling me all this? Because time is running out. And he coughs up a little bit. And he starts, and a little bit of blood comes out. I was like, Naruto realizes, you're sick, aren't you? It's like, I'm not sick, Naruto. I'm dying. I have maybe a few weeks left of life in me. And then that will be it. It'll be the end. There will be, and no one will know the truth beyond me and the few who orchestrated the events. So why are you telling me this? And then all of a sudden he reaches in, and Naruto's like, "Oh God," and because someone needs to protect the village, be it Sasuke or you. Sasuke, obviously, Sasuke is still controlled by the curse mark placed on him by Orochimaru. But you were still able to bring him back. You still think of him as your friend, and he hesitates, as your brother. If you can't bring Sasuke back to the light, no one can. Which is why I'm trusting you with this. Just trusting you with my eyes. And he gives one of them. He tosses one of them to Naruto, who's like, ugh. And he's about to go, and he goes for the other one. And just as he puts it out, he figures like, what, something's off. And all of a sudden, they all feel the chakra. And a rush of water, something comes out from, because basically the way this area is designed. Honestly, you could make the argument it's the area that Deidara and Sasuke fought in. That the way this area is designed is it's like a big clearing, but there's two big forests on either side. It's basically a clearing within the forest. And so Kisame floods the whole forest area, and then the Leaf Ninja suddenly see it as well. He's like, we need to get out. We need to go help them, and they're standing in the way. Is Obito's like, I'm afraid I can't let you do that. And he's not playing the Obito card. He's like straight in Obito Madara mode right now. Can't let you do that. And Kisame walks out onto the water. Itachi, I see. So this is the way things are. So it's true. You really never had any loyalty to this organization, did you? And Itachi, who you can't see anymore, tosses the other eye to Naruto real quick. But faces in the direction of Kisame. Does speak to Kisame, and he apologizes like, I am sorry, my friend. For what it's worth, I truly did value our friendship, our partnership, and our friendship. And Kisame, we know Kisame's history about, keeping secrets, loyalty, betrayal, all that. That stuff is very important to him. So the fact that Itachi has been playing all of them this whole time really stings for Kisame. But at the same time, he also says, like, for what it's worth, I appreciated your friendship too. And Naruto. And Itachi knows he's done. Naruto. That's protect the village and save Sasuke. Like, not just save Sasuke from, like, Orochimaru. No, save Sasuke's soul, basically. And Kisame just comes in and says, look at Itachi! But it's too late. Like, Kisame, it's shocking how fast he can be with Samahata. Just cleaves right down and done. And, well, unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to do this myself. But lucky for me, the Ninetales decides to show up. And Naruto's there's his chakras boiling. He's like, oh, yummy for Samahata. All things in the universe turn to ash. He's about to come and get the Fox chakra that's coming off him. Ryujinn Jakka! And then Kisame has to back the hell off. Now, someone mentioned that Samahata cannot absorb elemental chakra. I wanted to double check that to be sure. As it turns out, that's not a full truth. Samahata doesn't like to absorb fire chakra because it's too hot. But that doesn't mean he can't absorb elemental chakra. So just wanted to be clear for any future what ifs down the road involving Kisame as well. Or because I'm sure somewhere in the giant book of what ifs I have, there's what if Naruto gets Samahata or something like that. So Naruto is now whipping fire on. All the water is evaporating. It's like, what the hell? So much heat. It's evaporating the water. And Naruto just comes in, and just starts basically, like swordman to swordman. I'd say Kisame has more experience, but because he doesn't wield a traditional sword, Naruto is arguably the better swordsman because he does wield a traditional sword, like just as a blade, it's bladed weapon. But Naruto is basically just firing off fire, and Kisame can't absorb. He can fend off a little bit of it with like some water, but there's so much heat that it is evaporating the water around. Naruto is, and as the other Leaf Ninja are basically handling him, he is, or sorry, handling Obito, Zetsu comes up and is like, Itachi is dead. And Kisame is having issue with the Nine Tails. I see. Well, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Kakashi, but we'll have to cut this short. And then he, disappears to go help Kisame, only for Kisame to basically be like, okay, I got to go all out here. Absorb Samahata. That's like his biggest technique. That does, which is like that giant water dome, which was not like a bubble. It was a straight out like sphere of water. And it does kind of extinguish some of the flames. Ryujinn Jakka is still very much active, and it's like basically boiling the water. Kisame, though, is able to kind of just keep it. He's able to nerf it to its extent. But Obito gets there after the fight. And after the fight, it looks like, for some reason, there's a giant scorched mound of earth. There's Samahata is destroyed, dead, because Samahata is sentient. It's dead. Burnt to a crisp. Like, it looks seared. Kisame, what's left of him is like just burnt and charred and smells like burnt fish. Because he was a fish guy, kind of. So they're all just wondering, like, where's the Nine Tails? Where's Naruto? What happened here? Now, because, and this is all just timing, time frame, all that. Because of certain things that we'll get to a little later, Naruto quickly made work of Kisame. Like, he legitimately just took his ass out. Which now begs a serious question. How does the Eight Tails thing go? Well, for that, we first get back to the village, where Naruto shows up. He explains what happened with Itachi, and he even goes to Sasuke with the eyes intact. Sasuke can't do anything, so he's cleared to do that. And Sasuke is just like, you killed him! Because like, I didn't kill him. His partner killed him. So Itachi's dead. After all, he wanted you to honestly, he wanted you to have these. It's like, what? Why would he want me to have his eyes? Because he believes in you, and he believes in this village. I mean, this is his home and your home. And why should I believe any of this? Like, Naruto's just like, because I'm your friend. But no, you don't have to believe anything. And so Naruto's like, these will be available for you if you so choose. And so he gives these to make sure they're safe. It's naughty, but then they get the unfortunate information that Jiraiya was killed by pain, which leads into Naruto training on Mount Miyabuku for Sage Mode. And more importantly, we have to now backtrack. So while this was all happening, leading into those events, Obito and Zetsu showing back up with the death of Kisame, that really hurt. So he tasked them with getting the Nine Tails, Nagato getting Nine Tails, Konan went with them. But now it's really just Zetsu, Obito, and Deidara. He sends Deidara off to get the Eight Tails. And he's just waiting around his base with Zetsu. When Zetsu knows, like, there's someone here, there's multiple people here. And walks in, finding their location again, Kabuto and Orochimaru. And it's like, Orochimaru, Toby, is it? No, perhaps it's or would you like to be called Madara? Or is that, no, Madara doesn't fit you well either. I think I like the name. And he just says Obito. And then that's where it's like, it's like, how did you know? I have my ways. But I'm only here to I'm only telling you this to just prove a point. Me and my associate Kabuto would like to rejoin your group and aid in your efforts. And why would you want that? Oh, because I dislike the Leaf Village as much as you do. Almost as much as you do. And all I ask in return is one thing. I want Sasuke Uchiha. And Obito is just considering, because Obito has no love for the village at this point at all. So, sorry, sadly, once the weather I live in the woods and in an old house that does need some work on it. So, sidetracking real quick, when the weather gets nicer, big black wood ants come out of the works, and I can see one crawling up, but I'm not gonna. As long as I can keep an eye on them, it's all good. So Obito makes the consideration, and Zetsu's there, and they think it over. It's like, very well, but what can you offer us beyond that? Oh, I can offer you many things. And he just does the summoning jutsu and offer the Edo Tensei and shows off just exactly what he can do and what he has available. And Obito does get this kind of almost like Grinch-like look in his eyes, that weird evil eye smile, just ah. Meanwhile, it's a beautiful day in the Leaf Village. The birds are singing, the children are playing, and 6 orange-haired men and a woman are deciding we're going to destroy the world. Now, I also consider like I have a way of getting into that Orochimaru could have also said I have a way of getting into the village without even needing to attack them. But I like the idea that Pain just says, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wreck shop because I'm Pain and I think I'm that awesome." So yeah, Pain, Nagato literally throws the Pains, and the invasion of Pain happens, and all the ninja are doing their best. Doesn't really do much. Ultimately, it ends with the Edo Tensei or the Shinra Tensei, which basically craters the whole village, and Naruto ultimately showing up on the Toads with the Sage Mode. Tsunade comes, tries to stop, doesn't do anything. Kakashi's nearly dead, and Naruto is facing off with the Pains, and so he immediately goes into Sage Mode, brings out a sword. And he does not want to go Bankai if he doesn't have to, but assuming he can. Spoilers, yes, he can. Because unfortunately the Toads are there, and if he goes Bankai right near those guys, oh, that's not good. Those are his allies, those are his friends. He doesn't want to hurt them. But he will basically say, "Get out of here. I'm going to end this," if he has to. But yeah, he gets into a fight with them. He draws his sword. Ma and Pa say, "Oh yeah, the jutsu aren't going to work on this guy." Then all right, Toad style is, and he basically gets into taijutsu versus kenjutsu, and he more or less does the frog kama, but with the sword, which basically instead of an impact does like a cut, which slits his throat and kills him. Then Naruto shows up. They can now throw the Rasen Shuriken. And a Rasen Inferno as well, which would basically just be a giant sun coming at the individual, which expands just like the Rasen Shuriken, and vaporizes it. Unfortunately, this causes his Sage Mode to run out, and the David Path is like, is this really the best you can do? No. All things in the universe turn to ash. Ryujinn Jakka! And the fire comes. The remaining Pains have to get out of the way. The Printed Path shows up because he restored it. Naruto is able to resummon the Sage Mode. And he comes in and ultimately, he still gets behind the Naraka path, was it? There's the Deva path, which is the main one. There's the Prana path, the Zorb's chakra. The animal path's the summoner. The human path is the one that steals souls. Yeah, it's the Naraka path. Kills the Naraka path. And at that point then, the Prana path, once again, I think is able to get behind him. Ryujinn Jakka is still activated, but he's able to absorb that, plus the Sage Mode, which unfortunately turns into stone. He breaks out of it and then just fires Ryujinn Jakka at Pain, who just, is able to absorb, who's able, not absorb it, but send it away with Shinra Tensei. And here's where things get a little dicey. Naruto still gets taken by surprise. Even though there's a lot of heat, his Shinra Tensei blows the flames back, and he does get the chakra rods in there, which starts to disrupt his chakra. And Ryujinn Jakka, while separate of chakra, or separate with its own chakra, still is connected to Naruto. So this means that the flames are starting to kind of like fizzle a little bit. And Naruto's like, It's like, and they go into the spiel of peace versus pain and all that. Ultimately, though, Naruto just says, "I'm so tired of hearing you talk. Everyone, Ma, Pa, but get out of here." It's like, what? And they can kind of see the look in Naruto's eyes, like, "Oh no, we need to get out of here now." "There's nothing more you can do, Naruto. Just accept pain, and you will know peace. Your death will lead to peace." And it's like, maybe. But I'd rather love to see it myself. And because remember, he's in a big crater, so he does have enough room that this shouldn't be able to hurt all. I mean, granted, and if it stays active too long, he could screw everyone over. But he hears the words Bankai, and all of a sudden, Devapath has to back that away, just and then all the chakra rods disintegrate, just and it's Zanko no Itachi. What is this? You really think did you think I wasn't able to I don't have much time to explain. I'm still pretty new to this. I keep this activated for too long. I'm not going to just kill you. I'm going to destroy the leaf, my home, everyone in it, and even myself. And so once again, Naruto and Pain kind of duke it out. Now, surprisingly, Pain does have a good technique to keep out of reach of Zanka no Tachi, which is the Shinra Tensei, because it's gravity manipulation and attractive and repulsive forces. And a lot of Zanka no Tachi does involve getting close. Fortunately, though, he blasts Naruto back, who still taps the ground with Zanka no Tachi, but I believe I explained Zanka no Tachi in the very first episode. But just so you know, all the fire, the hellfire pretty much, gets concentrated into the blade, the tip and the edge. Also, so basically he just annihilates things out of existence. Literally. It eradicates things it touches into nothingness is the description. Also, he has a constant layer of, it looks like flames, but it's actually Ryatsu and Bleach, so in this case it'd be chakra, that basically reach 15 million degrees Fahrenheit, the heat of the sun. Literal. I actually looked that up to be sure how hot that was. And I believe it's Celsius, that is the heat of the sun. Because they don't specify Fahrenheit or Celsius. So if they're talking about it being literally the heat of the sun, then it's probably Celsius. Or Kelvin, whatever. Point being, it's the heat of the sun. Now, again, like I said, we are going to look over the fact that if Naruto actually activated this in the world of Naruto, he'd light the atmosphere of the planet on fire and just incinerate everything out of existence. But, yeah. So Naruto, because he's surrounded by this heat, it's the perfect defense with an offensive kick, because anything that gets close to it just is annihilated into nothingness. And so he gets blasted back by the Shinra Tensei, but he taps the ground very close in front of Pain. And just poof! And Pain, because he didn't remember, Pain didn't get hit by the blast, like the sword. He just get hit by the aftermath of the power of the strike. So it just blew him back, just poof! And luckily, because it's not his real body, he can't feel pain. He literally, none of those forms can feel pain. But he's like, ugh, what? Another ant. Anyway, I really should probably think of getting some ant traps. But I digress. So, Pain is just trying to get up, and Naruto is on him again. And Pain's only got the 5 second interval. It's only 5 seconds, but he's still got to wait 5 seconds. And he's barely able to get out of the way again. Only this time Naruto kind of swipes it, and he gets nicked before he he realizes his finger just got completely taken off, just gone, seared. Finally, Naruto's just like, all right, enough of this. And Naruto knows he can't keep this up forever. He's just going to keep destroying everything. So he just skips the third Zanka no Tachi south and goes straight to north, which is basically just a concentrated slash of heat and fire. All that power is just one straight slash, which basically wipes out anything it touches from existence. And because it's just straight heat, it's not something he can repel. So he just, and then the Nagato is dead. But Naruto also knows, thanks to the real one's not there, and things like having the chakra rods in him, all that Pain, that's not the real body. So after deactivating Ryujinn Jakka's Zanka no Tachi, he goes, finds Pain. I still think the conversation happens. I do still think it still happens. I do think Naruto is able to bring him back, and have him bring everyone back. And so all's well that ends well there. Naruto is hailed as a hero. Hooray. But what has been happening since then? Well, two things I think do happen here. Well, one thing actually. I didn't write it down. I realized I didn't write it down, and B, I'm like, I think it's actually better that it goes down a different way here. One is that Deidara fails to get the A-tails, and Killer Bee still uses that as an excuse to get out of the village. In fact, I think Killer Bee straight out kills him because he's got lightning chakra like Sasuke, so he can basically defuse any bomb he throws at him, just like Sasuke kind of did. And the other thing is that the Kage-sama will still happen, but the other thing, more specifically, was something to do with Sasuke. But I'm going to say that for the next part, because I think it makes more sense for the next part. And so now we have the Kage Summit. That would still happen, dealing with the issue with Akatsuki. Now, the One thing we have here, though, that is not going to happen is that Sasuke is not there. So, without Sasuke being there, this Kage Summit really just goes off without a hitch. We know Danzo would still get found out. We know Obito would still go after him. And I still stand by that Obito probably could have beaten Danzo. However, I also believe he probably enlisted the help of like Kabuto as a sneak attack thing, or Orochimaru, one of the two. And ultimately, Danzo still gives his life. Now, this leads to the actual war taking place. And obviously Obito getting the Rinnegan. Naruto is still sent with Killer Breed to the island to train with the Fox mode. And that's really where I left off with my notes. Now, the thing I'm stuttering here. Naruto would be able to, I think, gain control of the Fox without too much difficulty. He's already got Ryujinn Jakka. He's got Fire and Wind Jutsu, Shadow Clones as well. He's got Sage Mode. Yes, when he goes, it most likely, and the difference here is because he didn't have that meeting with his dad, him and his dad and his mom would have a nice conversation, like usually happens in these scenarios, I think, and he would ultimately get his Fox Mode. The question at hand is actually what happens with Sasuke. Because Sasuke is still, resting on his laurels. He does not have his brother. His brother's eyes are still there. They're still available to use, but he still just has to come to terms with some things. And that's going to be actually very important coming up in this next part, which I believe is going to be the last part. So we leave off with the beginning of the 4th Great Shinobi War. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you Monday for what I assume is going to be the last part. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time.